I was like, holy shit. The shop that we were going to rent was 3,000 square feet. This one room, this shop, the one with all the fucking air tools, plumbing, bathroom, the cool office, crazy setup, right? This is like 8 to 10,000 square feet for literally a little bit more money than the other one. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Substance Podcast. I'm your host, Liam.
And I'm your substitute host, Benny Wiles.
Ooh, I'd never thought about substitute. Imagine if we rebranded.
Substitute?
Yeah, just substitute. It's got nothing to do with stance or fitment. It's an institution of subcultures, and it's a podcast where we talk about that.
We're 15 seconds in and we're already off track. Oh.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. Matt is not here. I would say unfortunately, but that is not the case. I'm really happy for him. He's in Mexico currently, having a blast with his fiance. So yeah, that kind of feels really fucking weird to say that.
It's crazy, but it's awesome, and he deserves every single second of it.
Yeah, so yeah, we're stoked for Matt, and I'm sure everybody listening and watching is stoked too. But yeah, Ben's filling in, Ben being the third roommate if you're new here.
Howdy.
So yeah, we have no idea what we're going to talk about. It's the middle of the week, which is not usually when I would record, but I'm going to Helen on Thursday, so it's Tuesday right now. And I'm super excited, but we'll get into that. But yeah, Ben's filling in, and we don't know what we're going to talk about yet.
No, we don't.
We're just kind of going to make that up because, I feel like the best episodes that we do of this podcast are when it is just like, hey, we don't really know what we're going to talk about yet. And you just see where it goes. And I don't know. Let us know in the comments if listening to us just have a conversation is kind of like just having someone hanging out and listening. I have no idea if it's better for that, or we do like more interview setups where we have a guest on, and instead of, it being a natural flowing conversation, we have like points we want to hit. Let us know. Feedback will help this podcast be better. And you know what? I was just thinking.
What?
I need to have you as the producer on this show, because you know what my least favorite part about recording the podcast is?
Fucking listening back to it afterwards?
Yes. Setting stuff up and doing any kind of editing or listening back to it.
Yeah, I could do that, honestly.
Yeah, and
I definitely got free time right now.
This is mentionable too. You're into music.
Yes.
So doing something with audio and sound is kind of like up your alley somewhat.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not music, and we definitely don't sound as good as actual music. But
yeah.
No, I feel like it'd be cool to have you do that, because then honestly, like sometimes when me and Matt come in here to record, we're just not in like the right frame of mind.
Yeah.
And it always makes it worse for me that I'm like, oh, I gotta go like set all of this stuff up. So set all the lights up, get the camera where it is, which, saying that, every single time I position this damn camera, I'll watch it back afterwards. I'm like, nothing is straight. The table and the damn lines, and it's not centered, and it drives me fucking insane. And it's worse now because I'm using the wider angle lens, but it's at 28 and I used to do it at 35. But oh my god, it drives me nuts. Well, I'm convinced that camera's level is like faulty, so it's always reading slightly off.
Let me check it then.
Okay,
I'll check it.
Ben is a producer of Substance Podcast now. You're hired.
Hell yeah!
But no, I love doing this podcast. It's so funny. Like last episode that you guys listened to, where me and Matt sat down right before he left. Neither of us were like in a good mood to record that day. But it was the last day we had because Matt was leaving the next day. And yeah, it just worked out that way. And we came in here, we recorded that. And when we got done, we were both in such better moods. And it was ridiculous. Me and Matt talked for a second and we were like, why does this feel like therapy? We're just sitting here, hanging out, chatting. I was like, I don't know. It's a good feeling, and I want to know if it gives you guys like a similar feeling too. Because obviously you're not involved, you're just listening, but it uplifts my mood when I come on here and just talk. And so, you know, if you guys listening to it get a similar feel from it, that would be awesome to hear about. Oh, I'm just hearing... That's some ASMR right there. Hold on, let me turn the mic up a little bit. Shh, hold on. I'm going to do some... Oh, that's really loud. I'm sorry. I'm going to do some ASMR for you guys really quick because just we're on the subject of this show uplifting your mood. I'm going to uplift your mood right now. Ready? You're chilling on the beach somewhere. There's seagulls in the distance. And then the sound of a touche comes in. All right. Sorry.
Oh,
I could hear the changing in the background, and it was really satisfying for my ears. So I was like, all right,
I get that.
I'm going to give everyone that experience. Sorry, that was awful. Anyways.
I think it makes sense when you call it kind of like a version of therapy in a sense.
Yeah.
Because it's just a way to come in and like get things off your chest, whether it is like about your feelings and emotions or if it's just about shit you've been thinking about. Like as someone with ADHD, I got shit running around up in there like at 200 miles an hour nonstop all day long. So when I get a chance to just
this episode just ends up being like
shit.
6 hours long.
Oh yeah,
because
we just
of
get
that.
to talk about shit. No, when I just get to like talk about shit, it's so nice. You just unload. You're just like, oh, thank you for listening, and then you feel bad for rambling. But I get what you mean. It's kind of like a release in a sense.
Yeah,
Cum.
for sure. You just had to do it.
I had a big cum.
Before you said that, I was literally about to be like, Ben's a co-host on the show now. And then he goes, it's a cum. Thank you.
That's all right.
All right. The last time that you were on the podcast, we kind of did like a really heavily photography-based episode. And...
No, that was the first time.
What are you on about? That's what I'm saying. That was the first time.
You said the last time. The last time was with you and Matt. The Q&A episide.
Oh, that's right.
Sitting in the middle. We had the earth tones, brother.
Oh, yeah, we did. I totally forgot about that. You know how
you
this...
hate me.
No. This is the problem. This is why you have to be the person that produces this.
I got the earth tones on.
Because
again.
I forget. I fucking forget when we record and what we record. That's why somebody else has got to just shut the fuck up.
What? It's time to find a new best friend to clock. God damn. I'm just kidding. I understand. I forget a lot of shit.
But yeah, we did talk about photography stuff, that episode that you were on here where it was just us.
Yeah.
This episode, I feel like we should talk more about cars because me and you talk a lot about cars, even though we've said, like, and me and Matt have had this conversation. Me and Matt have the serious talks, and then me and you have the fun talks or the really creative talks. And so cars, you'd think doesn't happen that often, but we have some good car conversations because we get into rabbit holes of like build ideas, and this is definitely something that comes from you, but it's the fucking Facebook Marketplace deep dives.
Oh my god, dude, my favorite thing. That is like, besides playing Rocket League, that's my daily activity.
You know, I wonder if you know how your iPhone tracks like your app usage?
Yeah.
It'd be really cool if you could get the analytics for how long you spend on Marketplace, like specifically over just Facebook, because
I wish,
you're on there a lot.
Yeah, It's all the time. I just, at this point, I specifically have a folder like right at the top of my marketplace that says vehicles under $10,000. And it's just like perfect. Like vehicles under 10 grand, very attainable. You just click on it. It's just like 100 miles.
Dude, and I can relate, and I think I know why you do that though, because you used to have a car, and now you don't.
Yeah, my little Honda Fit.
Let's talk about the Fit.
Oh, I loved the Fit. Let's talk about the Fit.
All right, so actually, this has been in a YouTube video before, because when I came up for
Riverside Fall Meet in 2020.
Yeah, okay, yeah. After the COVID cancellation, they did a full show as a one-off.
Yeah.
I came up here early, and Ben took me out for a rip in the Fit.
That was fun.
This man is a crackhead, an absolute crackhead, right? It doesn't happen that often, right? The only times that I ever really get like scared in cars, I'm trying to think how to explain this, right? Because either way, I'm probably gonna sound like a bitch. Either way that I fucking describe this.
No, being scared in cars is an honest. Like I've had that happen. You go too fast sometimes.
Well, no, I'm trying to say this in a way that people can understand the crackheadness. But okay, if you're you're doing like a ride along in like a race car on a track, and they're driving really fucking fast, and you know that they're driving really fucking fast, it could be scary, but most of the times, at least for me, it's not that scary, because I know they're a professional driver and they're very fucking good at what they do, and there's a level of trust there. And so when you're on the track, it's like, yeah, we're going fucking fast, but everything's okay. We're all good. This car is super safe too, because it's a purpose-built race car, right? Riding with Ben in the Fit is the same exact feelings physically, like being thrown around in the car really fast, with no trust and no safety.
2 very big thumbs up.
It was a good time though. I will not lie. And this is not on like public streets or whatever. Ben you drive canyon, we can't call them canyon roads. We don't really have canyons, but
yeah,
like the creek roads around here.
Yeah, there's so yes, my car was pretty unsafe to ride in. I didn't have I had stock seats.
Yeah.
And stock seats in a Honda Fit are not going to hold you in. Their bolstering doesn't do shit. And that car was well set up suspension wise, so it could withstand the corners I was throwing at it. But honestly, I think one thing that held me back from driving even harder in that car was not having seats with a harness that held me in.
I was gonna say
that contributes to it.
Well, okay, throughout the progression of that day, I got more comfortable riding in the car. It wasn't like I was terrified the entire time. Once I realized that Ben kind of knows what he's doing with that car, I was like, all right, this is okay. It's going to be fine.
The first time.
And I could start feeling like if the car was getting like a little bit too upset.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at least I recognized that much, and I learned enough about the car to be like, all right, I'm good up to about this point. But no, your like style of driving or like progression in driving with your car is like, I feel like you just drive it until something on the car is physically holding you back, and then you change it, as opposed to just like trying to get the car perfectly set up and then being like, yeah, drive.
Yeah, that's kind of how it was.
Yeah.
When I got the car was already built and well set up from, he's another photographer. His name is Andy Carter, and he's down in Macon, Georgia, and I have seen him build the car over the years, and then I saw him put it up for sale, and then about 9 months later, I happened to be looking for a car because I bought a car, turbo blew up. That's a whole story for another day. Was looking for another car. It popped back up for sale after 9 months, and went down and looked at it, test drove it, and bought it. Drove it home. It was a lot of fun. And very quickly, I was like, okay, these wheels are too heavy. It was a It's Workmeister CR1s.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool wheels, but they were too heavy. Like they were just, and they were on all season tires, and they were brand new. So I was like, I don't really want to already change out the tires.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just get new wheels. Sorry. Ugh.
It's rough when
Yeah.
when you start talking for long periods of time.
Yeah.
You
And I
realize
got
how
asthma.
hard it is to talk for long periods of
I
time.
got asthma too.
You got ASMR?
Yeah. But anyways, I was like, I'll get new wheels, and I went searching for new wheels all over Facebook, obviously on Marketplace. I found a set of Advan RG2s. They were like 15x7 plus 38 or something, and they were perfect fit for the fit. Fucking like awesome. Got a new set of tires. That helped out a lot. Started pushing the car more. Found out the brakes didn't really withstand anything.
Dude, that thing, it's a Honda Fit, so you don't expect much. But like, I remember looking at the brakes and just being like, yeah,
Tiny.
those are pretty. Do those do something? Or
Yeah, no, they
I was
just
like,
I mean, they do, but they overheat so fast.
Yeah.
Like, man, I went up Blood Mountain with Matt one time, Blood Mountain, Georgia, like this crazy mountain road. Came back down, pushing it really hard, and dude, just like pouring smoke out my wheels because I just toasted the brakes so hard, and it was just one run down the mountain. It was like, oh fuck, like
yeah,
So, found a like TRQ drilled slotted brake replacement. Honestly, wish I would have gotten something better, but at the time it was like a cost-effective upgrade,
yeah, of course.
and it was like a really good price. Got them for like $100, so it's just 2 front brakes. And
Man, I wish any of my brake stuff was that cheap.
God, dude, it was awesome. But yeah, I wish I had planned to do a rear disc conversion because those are drum brakes on the rear.
Oh God.
I wanted to do a rear disc conversion, and honestly, at some point, do the like Jazz RS independent rear suspension upgrade, which gives you
Wait.
camber adjustability in the rear because it has a.
Why does the Jazz have IRS?
It's just the Jazz RS, like Japanese version. It has
What?
independent rear suspension rather than a
That's
like
cool as
just
fuck.
torsion beam. So yeah, that's how
I
people.
I guess I didn't even know that model. What did you say it is? A Jazz RS?
Yeah,
I
it's like
didn't
the
even know
Fit
that.
RS over in like Japan. And
I wasn't
stuff.
even aware there's an RS model.
It's cool.
The more you
There's-
know. The Fits and Jazzes. I think
Yeah.
they're a Jazz in England too.
Yeah, I think so.
But
They have like new, like different taillights, different bumpers, and everything, different wing, like really cool
Yeah.
setup. But they also have independent rear suspension, and you can upgrade it by importing that and
Damn.
swapping it. So I wanted to do that eventually and do a rear disc conversion, but I couldn't because the car blew up before then. We'll get to that. So I had drum brakes in the rear, disc brakes in the front, upgraded the disc brakes. I'm pointing at Liam's car, by the way. It's just helping me visualize what.
there you go. Yeah.
It's so much easier.
ADHD.
Yes. Yeah, after I got that, that was a really good upgrade. I had a lot more fun with the car. Brakes still kind of overheated every now and then, but I would push the car hard at that point because I
Yeah.
knew what it did.
Yeah.
Like, I think at that point I got the Regamasters as well.
Mm-hmm.
And those were on like Federal 595 RSRRs. So like straight up race compound, super stiff sidewall, like fun tires, especially for that car. And then I went like 500 miles over the oil change interval and was going around the Signal Mountain off ramp. It's a big sweeping turn, and oil light came on, and I was like, I've never seen that come on. And then when I got around the turn, it like turned back off. So I was like, oh shit, the oil like moved to the side. Like it's not a baffled oil pan, I guess. And starved the engine of oil. Cylinder number 2 started knocking on heaven's door. And I was like, damn, dude, I have like no money. I had been unemployed for like a month and a half at that point because I decided to call out to help Liam film a video.
No. Oh,
That was my
God.
fault. That was my fault. I
Well,
called out. And
I felt pretty
got
fucking
caught.
bad about that.
No,
So the
Not your fault. But
story with that is that we went out to shoot a video, which I actually never made. So it really
You didn't?
Nah, like
You
the full
made
version. Nah.
Oh, you made the reel.
Yeah, I made like that short version. That was at your apartment too. I like threw it together that night because I was stoked, but I never made a full version of it. But anyway, we went out to shoot with Austin Benton, which funnily enough I now work with. We went and shot his S14 up in the mountains out in Ocoee, like Cherokee National Forest, whatever. Super beautiful out there. There's some really cool overlooks. And the premise for the video was similar to the one that we had shot a few days before that. It was a drive and shoot video where it was like just a cinematic of like a car owner going out and shooting their own car at like different spots or whatever. And it was just a cool like idea. And we did the Mustang one and then we did Austin's. We shot everything. We got some really cool shots. We got some like him do like a donut around me and like take off, and
we
the chase shots. Yeah, we had the camera
mounted to the front of my Fit,
suction cup to the front of the Fit, chasing him around, which we weren't driving crazy fast. But
it was just close enough.
It was fun, and it's sketchy when it's just like my own camera that is my own money, just like on the hood. And then Ben decided to stay a little bit later than he needed to because it was fun. And
I called out of work. Said I was sick. It was also a Saturday. I worked at a bar, and then I was like, oh shit, I called in sick on a Saturday. Oh, we're going out. So we went out to Alan Gold's, which is a local Chattanooga gay bar. Just a great time.
It is. It's quite fun.
Yeah, and one of my friends posted me on their story, and people from my work saw, and I got caught. And
they were also having a drag show.
Yeah, they were having a drag show. I was throwing money at it. I did. Yeah, which was awesome. It was a great time, but it was irresponsible, and I learned my lesson from it. So
yes, and you lost your job.
Yeah,
and
lost my job.
Then the Fit blew up.
Yeah, didn't have any money because I had used all that money in the meantime after I lost my job, and then the Fit blew up, and so I just had to sell the thing for like, I don't know. I ended up selling it for a good price, even though it was knocking.
Yeah,
and I sold it actually. If any of you guys listening go up on the Tail of the Dragon. Sometimes the new owner, Josh, drives it up there. It has like this really cool, I think, APR wing on it, if I'm not mistaken, with like E46. It was like an E46 spec APR wing that happened to fit a good length for the Fit. He got custom mounts for it made by Rise Fab, custom exhaust by Rise Fab. New JDP parts on the rear and a front carbon lip, and then a JDP front hood. Well, a front hood, carbon fiber hood. What else? New headlights. He swapped the engine within a week of him buying it from me.
Dude, this guy was waiting for someone like you.
Yeah,
he was waiting for someone like you to blow up a really well set up car like that and let it go for a good price.
Yeah,
this sounds like this guy's done like.
Oh yeah, it's really cool. It's on some like cool gunmetal silver T37 SLs now, and like,
hell yes,
dude, it looks really good. Got a paint correction done. I'm glad he bought it because like all the stuff that I wanted to do to it, he has all the resources to make it cool, and like he plans to K swap it, and like that's what I wanted to do.
If you are ever selling a project car, I feel like that kind of circumstance is really like the best case scenario.
Yeah,
because like you get to see your car that you put so much love into, and you cared about it a lot.
You had so many plans for.
And then to see someone like execute it well, just like I feel like it's hard to let go of a car and not get like a bitter taste in your mouth when you see it again or see somebody change it or whatever, and like. That's just cool. Like it's like if I sold the LS in its state right now and somebody just turned around and like did all the bodywork and painted it, I mean, I would be pissed because I love this fucking thing. But still, like, it'd be nice that it'd be done.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool to see it go to someone that has like a similar taste or a similar vision that you had for the car.
Yeah.
which is like, I think, a rare thing when selling a project car or selling like a car that you built, or I didn't necessarily build that car, but I did a few things to make it my own personal thing before it. I only had it for like half a year. Not even, like, barely. Yeah,
Really?
I bought it in August, like very end of August of 2020. Flew to Vegas the day after I bought it, so I owned the car and didn't drive it for a week because I had a trip planned to Vegas. I got that unemployment money in June. I was like, yo, I'm buying tickets to Vegas. I want to go back and visit. And
we should mention that because you lived out in Vegas for how many years again?
No, I only lived out there for like 6 months.
Why does it always feel like these things, dude, these periods the cool that I've seen of your life, like, were long?
I don't know. All the cool shit that I do is just like periods of 6 months. I don't know why. But
well, let's try to make this fucking. We've done 8 months so far.
That's true. Let's
try and make this one last like at least the next 20 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's fucking cool. It's cool that he finished it and
yeah, and it's still
he
not
still
done.
enjoys
like,
it, right?
It's still in the process of getting like K-swapped and stuff like that.
Getting K-swapped.
Yeah, like that's what I wanted to do with it. I wanted to eventually K-swap it and like, make it faster than it was because it's a slow car, but it could do with a little more power. And the only real options for the L series engine on the Fit is to supercharge them, and even then, it's not even a lot of horsepower.
I mean, how much is it to do the supercharger?
It's like 110 horsepower at a base, and you're only getting maybe like 30 horsepower, 40 at most.
Well, my comparison is like I was, to do for an LS 400. The one UZ, if you wanted to supercharge it, it's like $75,000 or $8,000 to do it, Christ. And you gain like basically 100 horsepower. And is it kind of similar price range to that, or is it cheaper?
Oh no, it's way cheaper. It's like less than $1,000
for a supercharger.
I think so. Yeah.
What the fuck?
I don't know. Maybe I've just seen the wrong shit.
Maybe. Yeah. Makes me want a fucking Honda so bad, though.
Dude, there was one for sale, that black one I showed you last night.
I know.
It's like Honda, $9,500, 120,000 miles.
Honda or a Miata, just like small, easy chassis that just is fun and cheap. The problem is I can't do it right now because until I have like a shop space or somewhere that I can put more cars, I just can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, a Miata. I'm trying to look around and envision some space you could put.
You fucking turn it sideways and put it on the wall over there.
Yeah, dude. Dude, if you got like a Honda Beat, I could just sell the couch, get some money out of that couch.
Or just park it right here.
Yeah, just park it right there. It'll fucking fit, dude. It's tiny. Just get a Honda Beat.
I mean,
Make
ideally,
that your little mountain toy. That would be fun.
Ideally, it would be really nice if we could have somewhere like that we can have cars and work on cars, and also a studio space for this.
Yeah.
Because everything right now is just crammed in this garage, and we need to go through it so bad and sort through and take stuff out and get a storage unit, do whatever. But yeah, I want a shop space so bad. And
that would be awesome.
It's funny because I brought it up in a few episodes, right? And this was way, way back. This was middle to end of December. I kept hinting at us getting a shop.
Oh yeah.
Should I tell this story? Because
I
mean, it was never anything that I shared with anybody like online, and it's kind of sick.
I was there for a lot of that too.
Yeah. But anyway, so I'll throw it back to Myrtle Beach. I met and hung out with the guys from BTN, Boost the North. So hung out with Dave, who is the owner of Boost the North, and he's just a really cool dude. He's like super talkative, and I really want to get him on the podcast at some point. But pretty down to earth dude, somebody that I like. I quite like. I get along with him quite well, although he's got a lot of energy. So hopefully he'll chill out a little bit. I love you, Dave.
Hey, Dave, I feel that. It's all good. I feel that.
But anyways, we had some talks about going into business together and coming up with something and doing something really cool and unique. And it involved him having a space that they could come back and forth to America for, because they live up in Toronto, and so it's kind of tough for them to do business in the US without an actual address here. And I was like, okay, well, here's like a collaborative idea that we can work on, and then that way you guys can operate your business more in the US, and that will help with growth and everything. So me and him had kind of talked into like, okay, let's split a shop space. It'll be sick. We can use it for content, which actually related into the business idea that we had. I'm not going to talk about that because, maybe it will work out someday, and I don't want to release anything on it now. But yeah, it sounded really exciting, and I started looking around for shop spaces, and there's not a lot that is available here. The market, which I don't know if it's like this in other cities, but trying to find a shop space is pretty much
fucking impossible.
Know the right people. If
Yeah.
somebody owns a warehouse and they happen to be wanting to rent it out, they don't need to post it anywhere. You just know that person. That's kind of how that works. And so I can really only find a few things on like Facebook Marketplace or whatever. And we picked a day to go look at a couple of places. And we went to this first one that was fucking awesome, honestly. It's in like a gated off area. It's got cameras. There's a few other businesses in there. Really flat, big parking lot. Tons of space that if you wanted to have homies over to hang out, you could. The shop itself, I think, was, how big was it? 2,500 square feet.
Yeah.
I think 2,500 square feet.
2,500 to 3,000 or something.
Yeah, I want to say 2,600, somewhere around there.
Yeah, it was a pretty good size.
Good size, and I mean, for perspective, if you don't know your square footage, you could easily fit 10 cars in there, I would say. Yeah, you could fit, could you fit 10 cars? You could probably fit 10 cars in there. And it had like a
positioning.
Yeah, it had a bathroom. It had like 2 auxiliary rooms. So one of them, could be a stock room, inventory stuff, and the other could be a studio for the podcast.
An office.
Yeah, something along those lines. It was really good, and the floor was it was painted a dark color and polished. It looked real nice. It needed better lighting in there, but it was a really fucking cool shop.
Had potential.
Yeah.
Had a lot of potential.
It was pretty expensive, though. I mean, honestly, considering everything now and that all of the prices have basically doubled, it's a pretty good deal then. It was $2,200 a month, and I mean, that was more than I was prepared to split at that time, so I was like, yeah, maybe not. So we lined up another place to go look at, and funnily enough, this like random spot popped up on Facebook Marketplace. It didn't have any pictures of it, but it said it was it $500?
Oh yeah, like $500 a month.
It was like $500, and I was like, man, I mean, this could end up being one of those situations like my previous shop where it was like really cheap and it was just a room, but it was good enough for the time being because it was like a random person that would break a lease after 4 months when you find the right place.
Yeah.
And so I was like, fuck it, let's go check it out, see what it looks like. And he specifically said in the description too, like it's big enough to get, I can't remember on the square footage, but he said it was big enough to have like 3 project cars in there. And like, he was specific about like, hey, you could work on cars here. I was like, okay, cool. This could be a good fit, could be really cheap. We could do this for like a few months until we find like the perfect place and then just break the lease. And we go here, it's out like decently far and nice area, decently flat. It's a pretty drive to get out to it. And we get there, and we're not sure if it's the building that we pulled up at because the address didn't take us exactly to it.
Yeah.
And
it's a shitty looking building too.
Yeah. But there was one end of it that I was like, yeah, that does look like it could have some potential. Like, this is cheap enough where it's like, whatever, I can make do. Yeah. And we were there waiting for about 40 minutes for this guy. He was that late, and he just kept sending messages, but like not alluring to like when the exact time he was going to fucking be there. Yeah. So that for one was like, oh, God damn it. This is just like so frustrating. And I was like, whatever, it's still cheap enough that I'll put up with it. And this fucking, he pulls up, we greet him, whatever, and he takes us inside. And as soon as I walk in, it just, what did it smell like?
Dude, it just smelled moldy and musty, and that's exactly what it looked like too. Like just like shit on the floor.
It smelled like a barn. And no, well, okay, let me try and like describe exactly
how
the
house.
Yes.
Just a wet house.
The room, this is not a shop, okay? I don't want any of you guys to picture a shop space. A shop space will have 4 walls, a fucking roof, and some lights. Hold, please. We have a guest coming.
Oh, my God. My sweet, sweet, beautiful girlfriend.
Shout outs to Victoria for picking this up.
I just smacked my face against the mic. Smacked my face against the mic on accident.
If Aldi is interested in sponsoring this show, please shoot me an email, lepautomotive@gmail.com. This is the best stuff ever.
Yes. Set it right in the middle. We're going to snack on this.
Oh, God. It's about to be ASMR up in here. But anyways,
yes.
where was I at with that story? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Let me describe to you this, right? Don't picture a shop space. I want you to picture a house that was built in the 40s, and the outside of it is kind of stone, right? Imagine that house doesn't have any floor in it, and it's just gravel. But then there's like a few tiles that are random, blocks of tiles that are randomly placed around that house. And then imagine there's no drywalling, and there's some insulation that is half hanging out of all of it. And then imagine that the ceiling is 2 feet lower than what your like house ceiling is. And then
oh my God.
And then electrical outlets hanging down from there, right? And
not
then
sketch at all.
And then there's a tiny this building is imagine it lengthways, right? The door to get in is on the long side. So realistically, the only thing you can do, the width of the building is about the length of a car. All you can do is pull a car in right there. It would be really difficult to turn it anywhere and do anything else. Not to mention, there's also one half of a partition wall built out into the middle of it too, so you definitely cannot turn a vehicle. And he insists that you can get like 4 cars in this room. This room is smaller than my fucking garage, and it's weirdly shaped.
Oh my God.
It was
awful.
It was ridiculous, to say the least. And we were trying to leave, and he insisted on showing us the other side of it, which is his space. Which, oh my God, I felt like I just walked back in time, and I was about to walk outside and there'd be a KKK rally going on or something.
Yeah.
Because it felt real horrible in there. I was like, no, I feel like leaving. You know how they have like the blue tops hanging down in like serial killer movies and shit?
Dude, it was so weird.
It's
such
like
a creepy place.
It felt like Dexter, but in the middle of the countryside in a barn.
Yeah, pretty much. Get you some of that bread, make you feel better after telling that horrible experience.
So yeah, I did not rent that one, but the story continues. Those were 2 of the shops we looked at. All right,
nah, dude, I can reach that so fucking easy.
I'm
a 6-year-old. I'm gonna reach for it.
I need it so you guys can keep an eye on it. All right.
Yeah. Can y'all watch our kid for us?
Thank you.
We gotta do a podcast.
Okay, so the story continues. That was not the last shop that we saw, although it was the worst experience of looking at shops. The next one seemed pretty promising, and it basically said it was 3,000 square feet. It had a bathroom. It was on 4 acres of property with cameras, and they had like another building on that property that was theirs. Seemed like a pretty good deal, to be honest. And so, yeah, we went and checked it out the next day. Pulled up. The guy was really friendly, super nice. He had his buddy with him that I guess they like do some work together or whatever.
Yeah.
They were pretty cool. And yeah, we went and checked out the shop. It's like a kind of weirdly shaped building where it has one kind of what's the word I'm looking for here? Well, it had one wall that basically like caused a triangle at one end.
Oh yeah.
Like a
Had a weird
diagonal.
point to
Yeah, it had like, you know, horizontal, vertical walls, and then just and then just one diagonal wall. So it's a little bit of a weird shape, but really not that big of a deal. And 3,000 square feet is huge. That's like more than enough space to do plenty of shit with. And it didn't have any rooms, but I figured it'd be something where, you know, maybe later down the line we build out a room and make it an office and studio, whatever. But yeah, I was pretty set on this place. I was very interested in it, and the price was definitely right for what it is. And the dude before he left was like, "Hey, do you want to come check out the other building while you're here?" And the other building, for context, is 14,000 square feet. It had like a built-in compressor system that was run throughout the entire, like plumbed throughout the entire building. So if you got air tools, like it would be sick. And then it had like a room off the side that was part of it that was like 3,000 square foot. Like the main room was 10,000 square foot. Then it had this 3,000 square foot on the side. And then there's like office and bathroom. And it was pretty cool. It was very, you know, old factory kind of building. Ben really liked the office.
Yeah, it was like all. It was kind of creepy for the fact that it was like no windows at all.
Yeah.
Like no window. It was literally just like a room tucked into the building, but it was like floor, walls, and ceiling were all painted the same shade of white, and like the lighting was just fluorescent.
And
so
it was, like, I would say probably like 10 feet wide.
Yeah, it was
it's just like a long
30
tube.
feet, 30, 40 feet long, I guess, and then 10 feet back. So like feasibly, if you wanted to, you could pull all the furniture out, pull a fucking motorcycle in, shoot it, and like this cool like white surrounding light, and almost be like a white backdrop. So it was a cool building. It had a lot of potential to it.
And he was like, "Oh, you know, we're painting this one. We just painted the other one, the one that I was interested in." And they were like, "Yeah, we're fixing to paint this one, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And, you know, I was asking him, you know, "What do you guys do here? What are you using the building for?" I'm just trying to make a relationship and figure out, like, hey, what's going to work best for, you know, people coming and going to, you know, homies to come hang out at the shop or whatever, and if everything would be cool. And the guy was pretty cool, and we agreed on a price for the other one, and, you know, gave it a handshake, and I said that I needed to get with Dave and talk it over and make sure he was cool with it. Oh, you're good. And we'd get back with him and give him a deposit as soon as possible. So I went back and showed Dave all of the pictures and videos from everything, and he was so stoked. He was like ridiculously stoked at how like cool this shop space was. And we're like, okay, cool. I'll let the guy know, and I'll ask him, you know, how much he wants for a deposit, when he needs it, blah, blah, blah. And like, we talked into some of the arrangements of pushing back a few weeks so that the lease would start on like the first of the year, which I knew for tax reasons for me would help me out. And yeah, everything was good. We would talk to the guy about, we'll send you over the deposit next week, and then the terms of the lease will start the first day of the year. And he texted me back another day, and he was just like, hey, I've got a good idea for you, or like a better deal. And I was like, okay, I'm listening. And he was like, so I noticed that you have really, really low cars, and that you're going to be using, you know, that ramp essentially to get into this shop space that I was going to rent. And he was like, that ramp is garbage. And like, honestly, I want to rebuild it, but probably not right now. And you guys would just tear it up, and that doesn't bother me any because it helps me out if I'm going to replace it. But wouldn't it make more sense for you guys to just have like a flat shop entrance? And I was like, well, yeah, of course, in an ideal world, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers when your budget is a certain, you know, level. And he was like, okay, well, how about you guys take the bigger building, and I'll like section off that side room, and you can have like that main room. And And yeah, that's flat for you guys. It's, it's still got all the same amenities, and we'll finish painting it for you so you get it in the same condition as the other one. I was like, holy shit. The shop that we were going to rent was 3,000 square feet. This one room, this shop, the one with all the fucking air tools, plumbing, bathroom, the cool office, crazy setup, right? This is like 8 to 10,000 square feet for literally a little bit more money than the other one. And he basically was just like, we don't need that much space, so we're more than happy to take the smaller one if this one's more convenient for you. And because we like you and like we feel like this is a good fit with the way that you run your business and stuff like that, we don't want people, coming and going to the property all the fucking time, blah, blah, blah. Like, you're a perfect fit. We'd love to just work this out with you. I was like, holy shit, this is incredible. I don't even know what I'm going to do with that amount of space. And so I started going down like loopholes of ideas to really like get the most out of this space. I was like, fuck, let's make YouTube videos on like cars, like Donut Media does, where they do those like feature things and walk around of a car.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck yeah, let's do that. And yeah, I had all these ideas, but anyway, not to make a long story that was very long short, but it didn't end up working out. There was a bunch of issues, unfortunately, with the fear of the Canadian border having restrictions. And Dave committing to that was like worrying, blah, blah, blah.
Because COVID at the time was getting worse.
It was starting to get worse, and people were getting worried. And
because it was right at the end of the year, and that's when you and I both got it, actually.
It's like
was it me and Ben?
Flu season, pretty much. Did you say? Oh, I thought you just said me and Ben. I was like, you're Ben. You said that. So it didn't end up working out, and that is what it is. I don't know that I'll ever find a deal that insane ever again.
Yeah, that was wild.
But I am kind of thankful that it didn't work out, because after everything that I've been through since the start of the year, business-wise, I would be in real rough shape right now if I was in a shop lease. Like, real rough shape with how fucked I've been with money over business stuff. So kind of glad that didn't work out, because now I've been able to keep myself above water. I would have fucking drowned. But anyways, that didn't work out. Further down the line, hopefully we'll be able to get into a shop space and dude, I want to build a photo studio so bad.
For real. That would be so cool.
If all we did was just like shoot cars in a studio, that'd be so fucking sick. I mean, we'd obviously still go out and shoot, but
but just to have that, especially for shooting interior shots, if you have a big white.
Oh my god, I would honestly really enjoy building the light for that too.
It'd be so cool.
Like building all the framing and then trying to figure it out, and like we'd DIY the whole thing. We'd do like fucking LEDs in there.
Fun. Harbor Freight would be our best friend.
Oh, all this shit, man. Someday.
Big old to-do list.
Yeah.
Never going to be tackled. Someday.
No, it will.
That's true.
It can. And I actually want to talk specifically about you. Kind of some of the things that we've been talking about, like in terms of your involvement with Substance as like this whole collective, not the podcast specifically, which obviously we talked about the producer thing, but talking of like getting places and like trying to do all these things, this is the best time to talk about this. So we've been doing these drive and shoot videos, which is different than the ones that I talked about earlier, where
those were like the OG drive and shoot videos.
Yeah, that was the original idea, and it didn't work out because nobody favors cinematic videos anymore, unfortunately. So it's really hard to hit the algorithm, and it just didn't work out. So now we do these really cool vlogs that they are basically vlogs. Where it's our experience going out and shooting, and it has like some good tidbits in there. Ben will explain like kind of what you're doing.
Yeah, like bits of advice of like, hey, here's how I'm approaching this scene. Here's how I'm looking at it and composing this shot. Like, this is what I am. This is what's going on in my brain. So I'm trying to explain that during the shoot, which is something I'm still honestly learning. I mean, we've done like 6, 7 of these at this point.
Yeah, we've done quite a few of
Yeah,
them.
and which have been a lot of fun, but I'm still like, I bet we could go back and watch the first one and notice a big difference in just how like
probably, yeah.
how I act in front of the camera and stuff. But it's just something to learn. It's a lot of fun.
No, it is, and it's cool. Like the reason we wanted to do it is because like me and Ben honestly really enjoy just going out and shooting, and it's funny to see us like bounce back and forth our ideas for a scene. Like we make suggestions to each other, and it 100% helps us be better photographers.
Oh yeah,
it's so cool.
A lot of times where we're like filming those videos specifically, and like the one up in Knoxville with Mike's M45 and Mason shot it with us, like that shot through the stairs.
Oh,
the stairwell through the
I was
bush.
insistent on that
angle.
angle.
You were like, I need that angle, and I had not even approached that yet, and that was like,
no, I like that
really
was
cool.
When I was looking at that whole scene, you'd obviously pulled, because Ben was leading that video along with Mason, and so you were like, yeah, let's go to this spot. You pulled up, and it's this big kind of
like brutalist architecture, abandoned bank building.
A lot of concrete.
It was cool. It's really cool.
It's a cool looking building, and he'd kind of like imagined this framing up front, blah blah blah. Oh, sorry, I just said blah 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 as if that was like a bad thing. I'm so sorry. That is not the way I meant to sound.
No, it's okay.
No, you'd framed it up how you had imagined it in your head, and it was shady up until that point, and it decided the sun wanted to poke out. And I started
weather was bullshit.
It was so annoying. But I was looking at it like, okay, the weather's changed. I feel like this spot doesn't work with like the way I'm imagining it with this weather. Like it needs to be more dark and dreary for like that brutalist feel to come through in the picture. And so the sun's coming out. I'm like, fuck, I gotta look at something else around the frame. And if you look off to the left of it, there's like some stairs that go up to this like walkway that goes around the back of a bush. And I was like, okay, I bet there's a way above that you could get elevated and kind of shoot through the railings and also like some of the leaves of the tree and like position the car somewhere in that break to where it just looks really cool. So I just went up there and eyeballed the framing and was like, okay, I think the car's about that big in that spot, parallel to the curb. So I was like, fucking put it over here. Just put it over here. I want to see this. And then, you got some really fucking good pictures from that.
Yeah.
It was a cool angle.
It was a cool spot, and the weather was bullshit that day, but it was just like, you gotta embrace it. I was like, you just gotta deal with the inconsistency. I can't talk. Inconsistency. and just roll with it, and that's kind of what I did. It was cool though. Like it made me look at that spot a different way that I hadn't really thought about, like using the building as more of a background since it's further away from the subject. And it was pretty cool. That was a fun shoot, video.
And the videos are cool because we're just going out and documenting our experiences, and we're kind of sharing just what we're doing. It's not like a how-to video or like a tips and tricks thing, which it has tips and tricks, but it's more so just like, hey, this is us going out and shoot. Hopefully it's entertaining for you guys to watch. Maybe it's interesting, and it's kind of similar to how we do stuff with this podcast, where we talk about things from our own perspectives and then we try to get other people's perspectives. We're kind of doing a similar thing.
Yeah. Like if it interests you, awesome. And if you learn something from it, awesome. But
we're here to have a good time, and we're here to like spark inspiration.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the time.
Not about trying to like educate people. It's like,
no,
hey, here's what we do.
It's like, hey, this could be an idea that you hadn't thought of.
Yeah. And actually I have gotten some messages from people, like over the last few months that we've been doing that. I've gotten a few messages from people that like, they're like, oh dude, I watched the drive and shoot videos and like I did this angle because of it. And like one specifically, I can't remember his Instagram name, but he had done like the interior shot of like the steering wheel or just like a couple different angles.
Your like signature angle.
Yeah,
basically.
But basically he did it and like used the foreground and used the other seats and stuff as the foreground and all that stuff. So it was like really cool to see that, people are hearing what we're doing and seeing the results and being like, how can I implement that in my own work?
It's important. as a photographer to experiment. You know, I
Yeah.
feel like there's a lot of people out there that like kind of it's very competitive for them.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I just have to be the best photographer, or I have to be at this many shoots, or blah blah blah. That, like,
No, you don't.
which I've been in that stage. I've
I
done
have.
that.
Yeah, same.
And
But you get to a point
You
realize,
don't. Yeah,
no.
you don't learn. Your work doesn't progress because you're so fixated on the other side of it, which is the business side and getting ahead, as opposed to, the actual art of it. And so we're
which I will
taking
say
that approach.
is fair.
Oh
It's
yeah,
fair
absolutely.
to go through that phase of like, I'm gonna just really build
Yeah.
a brand, because that gives you access to
I mean, I think that's what I've
more
probably
clientele.
that's what I've done up until now.
Yeah,
That's 100% how I've been up until now.
that's kind of, I mean, but now it gives you access and it gives you a lot more contacts for when you do want to kind of explore and learn more and do all
Yes.
that. Like, it's like, okay, now I have these cool cars that I can go out and shoot with,
Mm-hmm.
and that will still generate some traffic for Substance or for so-and-so.
Yeah.
But I'm also experimenting. Like,
Exactly.
so it's good that you do that. But yeah, once you get to a point, you realize, oh, I don't. Really need
I
to
mean,
do
I think
anymore.
that's a lot of what's come in with my like creative burnout over the past probably 4 years now, has just been me in that state of mind where I'm trying to get ahead and trying to do all these things, being too ambitious with stuff related to photography, that I forget why I did photography in the first place. And so us doing these drive and shoot videos, like, although I do this a lot more now, probably in the past 2 years that I've really focused on taking more pictures, it's nice when we do the drive and shoot videos, because we like stimulate each other to like think more on the things that we're shooting and think consciously about the things that we're doing, and then explaining it is then like another level of that. And I don't know, it just helps us like get better at something that we love doing. So
when you shoot, like when you do a shoot with another photographer in the same conditions, same subject, same everything, it's so cool. Like, I think I've said it once before on the podcast, but just go do that.
yeah,
You can just bounce ideas off each other during the shoot, and then afterwards you get to look at how you saw the light and the colors and how you processed it and edited it, and then you get to see how your friend did, how the other photographer did. And it's so cool to just like look at that and compare and be like, wow, this is how he was seeing it. And you learn from that. You learn, oh, you can use these tones in this particular setting, and like, it's just cool.
And what takes me back to like the more competitive like photographers is it's just not proactive to what you're doing or what anybody else is doing, really.
Yeah.
That another part of why we want to do it is we just want to share. We just want to be open about everything, because it isn't a competition. We're not trying to be better photographers than anybody else. We're just enjoying photography. And I feel like that gets lost sometimes because it's the rat race of, hey, I need to make so-and-so amount of money from photography, or like blah, blah, blah. I need to book this many clients, whatever. It's, I don't know, we just kind of enjoy sharing it and bringing that back into Substance and you. We've been having these discussions here and there about like potential business ideas with Drive and Shoot, if it's to build like a good audience, and we're trying to think of like merchandise stuff that we could do. And there's been so many t-shirts that I've seen in like thrift stores, or like just cool shirts that I like, that are dead ass like just a really, really dope, aesthetically pleasing picture on a shirt, like a DTG print, or like it's just a big frame on a shirt. And I just think that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
And Ben one day showed me some pictures from was it point and shoot film that you and Mason did one night?
Yeah, it was I just got a like fucking Konica C35P or something, or EFP or something. Really cool camera. Victoria got it for me for Christmas, and I love it. Having some issues with the flash on it, but we made it work that night. Mason like got a piece of aluminum foil and like rigged it up to the battery so it would like get power to the back or to the flash and all this. I don't know. It's fun. But yeah, I shot it on Cinestill 800T, and I shot it in this little parking garage with all these like cool posts and stuff. Just kind of like a cool spot and shot it all with flash on.
Mason's car is a 87. What year is his car?
I can't remember. I don't know.
It's
a BMW L7.
It's a BMW L7. Maybe that's why I'm thinking 87. But it's a BMW L7. I think it's 80s. It's really cool. It's manual.
Yeah.
Very cool car.
Swap, built motor, all this stuff.
And in this parking garage, it just looked so fucking sick. And there was like one picture in particular. Or no, there was two. But it was of Mason just doing some quirky shit. One of them was him jumping and being midair, I think.
Yeah, and then the other one
was him just kind of like laying across the trunk of the car.
Yeah.
Just something about it looked fucking really cool. And we were like, man, if we like put that on a shirt, like, I would fucking wear that. And it's a really cool way for people that like the show to support it and allow us to do more things with the show. And so we, like, went down this rabbit hole of, like, other ideas and things that we could do that directly relate into what it is that we're, like, filming and making this show about. And I don't know. It's a cool idea that's still in the idea phase, but
we definitely should try and follow through with it. I think it would be
I mean,
cool,
there's some, like, we can do posters and prints, and we can do, like, graphic designs of pictures, and
I think it would tap into a new side of your audience as well.
Definitely.
I think people would be like, oh, this is kind of more like, I mean, you had these certain styles of designs
that I've stuck to for a long time.
Yeah, for a long time to sort of branch out like that. Other people might start gathering some attention for substance and stuff like that. So
also, a big thing that me and Matt have talked about with the design language for Substance is typography being like a big part of it. You guys know our logo is like very bold, real aggressive. We're just like obsessed with the idea of doing more typography stuff with the word Substance, because that T, which is a like symmetrical letter in itself, two pieces at the top, blah blah blah, it's right in the middle of the word. So for typography stuff, like, there's so many options. And the other cool thing was if we did, like a full fucking print that had a picture on it, if we came up with some new type of typography that looks really, really cool and can go over the middle of that and like not ruin it, or in the corner or something, so it just ties it into the brand, that's really cool. And like a direction I've wanted to go for a long time, but didn't feel like I could because I was limited to how my design style was with LED. Are you good over there?
No.
Go get some water.
I'm sorry. Talked a lot.
Okay, while Ben is going to get more water, I want to talk to you guys about today's sponsor. I say today's, it's actually every episode because we love them so much. Wheel Price. Wheel Price is an app for buying and selling wheels. It's set up in a really unique way that kind of takes me back to how the forums were back in the day. And the best part about it is that it's run by enthusiasts just like us, just like you guys that are listening to this podcast. And so it's just a really cool community to be a part of. You can download the apps. They're linked in the description. Go check it out. It's definitely worth it. And, you avoid any of the bullshit of trying to sell stuff on Marketplace or through Instagram or whatever. It's just one place. You can search for wheels in different styles, bolt patterns, brands, whatever you need. And yeah, you can kind of just enter your card information and have them shipped instead of having to like deal with somebody shipping and checking in with them every day. Hey, have you shipped this? Or having to send money through PayPal and then them scamming you and you not being able to get your money back, that type of thing. So yeah, go join Wheel Price and support the people that support this show so that we can make this better. And Benny is back. Perfect timing.
I am back and still coughing. Go download Wheel Price.
Yeah. What were we talking about?
We were talking about kind of like a creative direction for Substance with the shirts and stuff like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Design language. I
want to explore more design languages than I have. And don't get me wrong, all of the stuff that I did with LEP was 100% a representation of like ideas I had in my head and I really liked. But those design styles were very specific and limiting. Me going outside of those when I built an audience that likes that stuff is then kind of difficult. And I think that may have played a part in the downfall of LEP stuff. But anyway, I just want to explore more design languages. It's really fun for me. I'm not a designer, but like I love coming up with ideas. And the coolest part of all of that is I just want you to be involved. I want this being a collective of me, you, and Matt is like, we live together, we're best friends. Why the fuck would we not be like coming up with a cool business that is like super fun for us to do, like all of the things that we do,
rise and grind, Lincoln build, brother,
and make enough money to do more cool shit that we want to do and live fairly comfortably. And we could have side hustles that maybe pay our bills, and then we just like have this that funds us doing cool shit, like building cool cars and doing fun trips and just stuff we want to do while we're in our 20s and
that would be cool.
Not have kids, you know?
So hey, if you're listening or watching and you want to wear cool shit,
if you want to see us go buy Benny's Fitback and just rip it around,
I'll do that.
Do something. Well, no, it's all redundant me saying all of this with such passion because we don't actually have anything to give you guys right now. Matt's working on the website. Me and Ben, which huge hats off to Matt. I do really, really love and appreciate him for this. Matt has a lot of stuff going on and is super stressed right now and is still finding time here and there to like work on that. So thank you, Matt. You're the best. Me and Ben definitely could be working on things. We need to get more drive and shoot videos out. What we need to be doing because we got in a good rhythm of it.
And then we just kind of stopped. I mean, we had Mother's Day and then
we had a weekend out of town. I've been sick. 1 week.
There's so many big doinks to smoke on. Like, you just gotta. So we're victim to it at times, you know?
But also, both of us are in, like, a transition period through, like, work and finances. And so, you know, the risky business idea that you have to put a lot of time into and then your own money into that doesn't actually have any guarantee on return is kind of hard to justify over just doing the bare minimum to survive. So yeah, we're getting there, and that's why I say, you know, thank you to Matt for actually being able to do all the stuff he needs to, and then find time to do it also. But yeah, I've started my new job, which is great. Ben's in the middle of kind of deciding where you want to go.
Yeah, still trying to find some sort of full-time job. I was doing like touch-up work for a while, and it's just not like as consistent as I wanted to be. And then when I saw it kind of like losing steam, it made me lose steam, and just was like that vicious cycle. And just like I'm just not cut out for like a 1099 like self-discipline job. I need someone to answer to. I need that sort of structure. And
guys, this is why we do this. This is cool to share this because you're not alone in that feeling whatsoever.
Yeah.
Because I go through that constantly. It's
tough to work for yourself, basically. Like it's tough to get yourself up out of bed and like go push for something that doesn't have a guarantee of consistency.
I think like there's so much stuff on the internet and in life in general, people talking so highly about being, you know, an entrepreneur or business owner or whatever. And that's not to say that's bad. I don't want to shit on the people that, you know, appreciate and respect people for being entrepreneurs at all.
Yeah.
But like, I really wish more people would like understand and be considerate of how hard it is to just have the discipline every day to get up and do stuff. Like at least for me, in my experience, when I have like a 9-to-5 job that I go to, I'm that employee that will be there like 15, 20 minutes before my shift starts. I won't say a fucking word through my shift. I will get my work done and I will do it well and efficiently. If I see that somebody else is not doing so well, I'll do my best to help them. Like in that environment, I do really well. But that environment doesn't reward that kind of behavior at all. And so it's really hard for me to be in that environment because I work hard and I'm not rewarded for it. Well, my brain works in different ways, and I am constantly coming up with business ideas and things that I could do with my life and ways to fund the things that I want to do. And yeah, you know, it's all fun and good when you see all these like success stories and things working out, but that isn't reality, not for everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, self-discipline at the bare minimum is one of the hardest things to deal with when you work for yourself. You know, every day for me, my desk is less than 10 feet from my bed. I'm the one who has to get up. How many alarms do I set?
A fuck ton. Like 10.
He hears them from across the fucking house.
I mean, I don't care because I fucking get it. Like, when I need to wake up. I've set so many alarms.
Here's where it differs, though. I can wake up if somebody else is relying on me. If I made plans with you to be like, hey, we're going to Cars and Coffee in the morning. We have to be there at 7 a.m. My ass is going to be up at 5:45 in the shower, good and downstairs, ready to eat by fucking 6.
Yeah.
But
sometimes
I can't. If it's just me,
little too late. I mean, I'm still.
But even then, you're
I get up and I go. You're gonna do it.
Yeah. And if it's just me, there's nothing. My brain is still fucking asleep. There's no part of my brain that is yelling at the other part, like, get the fuck up. I'm still dreaming.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to fucking get up and do shit. And that is why I think that us working together and like trying to come up with stuff and work on things together, because we do all the editing for YouTube together now.
Yeah.
For the most part. If it's an episode that Benny's in, but beyond the podcast, me and Ben sit in the same room and edit. And he eggs me on to do stupid shit. And it makes me a better editor. I challenge myself.
To do the dumb shit.
Yeah, and it's really fucking fun. We enjoy it, and we get excited to do it. Like, there's been... This last night, there's been so many times where it's the evening. We've had a long day already. We've already done all the things that we needed to do. Like, I've got back from work. I'm tired. I just want to lay down and, like, scroll on my phone, right? We will smoke, and then we can either sit down on the couch and watch a bunch of dumb videos and eat snacks.
Which is a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. Sometimes that's nice. Or we can fucking go upstairs, sit at the desk, and just have a blast editing a video. And the video is fun because it's just dumb shit that we did, or like it's our experiences anyway. We're reliving them, and we're not that funny on our own. We find each other hilarious.
Yeah.
But if there was like an audience of people outside of the back windows of our house, we would not be funny whatsoever. It's literally, it's nonstop, just like words out of context being yelled across the fucking house. Yes.
Yeah,
we have ad libs, like a rap song.
Pointed that out yesterday. Victoria pointed it out. She's like, yeah, there's the ad libs for this house. It's just, yeah, bro.
It's just, it's stupid.
So dumb.
But we really enjoy editing it because we get to realize that we're not that funny, and then we make it funnier by, you know, some of the editing things, you know, like pinch zooms in and fucking the face tracking that I always do for shit. So you know, musical comedy, certain cuts, like cutting at certain points and just chopping shit together. Like, it's really fun for us to sit down and like try to make a video entertaining. And like, I've noticed since we've been doing that, like I put so much effort into the content. Like the videos that I upload on the YouTube are like I'm fucking proud of them because we sat there, like last night I was editing till 5 a.m. I went to work today.
I went to bed at like
you went to bed at like 1 or
no, I went to bed at like 11:45, dude. I was
my God,
big sleep, and I was like, man, I'm going to bed.
I stayed there for another 5 hours and cranked on this shit. And
he cranked his hog for 5 hours after I went to bed, and I can't blame the man.
Yes,
it produced some good.
But no,
results.
There's a really good video now coming out that it may actually be out before this, to be honest.
Yeah, you might release it before the weekend. That might be good. You're going to Helen.
That's right. I'm
going
to Helen.
You're going to film some content there. So
yes, I'm going to film some sick content at Helen. Which, dude, It's
won't
just
be able to
me.
make it.
It's just me from this household going to Helen.
I won't be able to make it. I'm so sorry. I got my cousin Hunter. He's
Yeah,
like
you've got stuff you got to do.
he's like my little brother, man. They lived with us for like a year and a half whenever they moved down from Ohio while their house was being built. And dude, he and I just played fucking Black Ops 3, I think, together all the time. Just
Hell
like
yeah.
played split screen Black Ops 3 and just like bonded over that. Played zombies and just like started playing other games, Grand Theft Auto
Yeah.
and fucking Fortnite. I still play Fortnite. The no build mode, dude. If you play Fortnite, let's play Fortnite together. No build mode made that game fun again.
Which,
I'm going to his high school graduation, which is weird. He just turned 18.
if you want Benny's like info for any of that shit and you want to play games,
Yeah, I do.
join the Discord, and Ben's in the Discord, and just like tag him somewhere, maybe
Yeah.
in general, whatever, and just ask
Yeah.
for his gamer tag.
I got a couple of them. One of them's Fat Free Bussy, and the other one's just Nightly Sugar. It was like one of the random generated PlayStation ones, and then I don't know. I've had like 5 accounts. At the
But
time.
yeah,
Yeah.
But
If
no,
you want
yeah,
to play
you-
with me, let me know. I play a lot of Rocket League and Fortnite.
but
You know,
you
whatever.
got stuff to do, which
Yeah.
that's totally fair. But yeah, it's just me going to Helen from here. But luckily, it's not just me and my own. Everybody from our friend group in Chattanooga, which I feel blessed to be a part of. They've been
All the Riverside folks.
yeah, they've all been friends for like a very long time here in Chattanooga, and they kind of, you know, people come and go, and we're newer people. I mean, you and Matt have been here for a while, know everybody, but like I'm really new here, and like I'm close friends with Mason and like a few people, but being a part of this friend group is fucking awesome because it's just like it's a good group of connections in town, and they're all really cool people who
Yeah. Very
are just
fun
like
people
us.
to be around.
Yeah, we all kind of have similar feelings on cars and certain things, and it's I don't know, it's nice. Whenever we have shop hangs at like, you know, Scud's shop or soon to be Mason's shop,
That'll be cool.
yeah, it's just nice. I appreciate it. So I'm excited about Helen this weekend because I'm getting to spend time with all of those people, and I'm gonna try my best to film some content. Although I'm fairly new to this like group of people, I can't guarantee anything. I'm perfectly comfortable putting the camera just right up there in Ben's face or Matt's face because we're around each other all day and we know how dumb we are. Other people that I don't know as well, I don't like to do that as much, but I'm sure I'll be able to get some good content.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Especially once they start drinking.
yeah, probably.
They go out on the tubes. They just.
I'm so excited.
That'll be a good time.
And just not just that, like Helen, you know, back in the day, I always wanted to go to, but didn't get to because it ended before I could. This is like the way more chill version of it, and it's still really nice cars. And although it's Volkswagen stuff, I know there's going to be a good like mix of other like BMWs and other stuff, but it's all going to be really top tier clean stuff because
people bring out a lot of cool shit because
it's usually just the people that actually care. Like these are people that have been going for 10 fucking years to SOA or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they all have really nice cars and they're all mature, and I'm just pumped for that environment because that's something that I've been wanting for a while.
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of some of the car shows, which trust me, I'm guilty of it. I've been in that young mind for a long time where you go to car shows and just have fun the whole time and just be kind of reckless. Ain't worth it. And the quality level at some of these shows is embarrassing. So, you know, it's kind of nice to go to some of these other places and just enjoy some nice cars and some good people that, you know, have been around for a long time. So I'm excited. Helen's going to be fun.
That'll be cool.
Well,
I'm going to Italy.
Oh, dude. Have you ever been to Europe?
No. The only time I've been out of the country is to Mexico in 2013.
Dude, you're going to lose your, especially because I know how you are, but anybody, you're going to lose your fucking mind. Because everything is different. It just, like, yes, okay, they have they have buildings.
Yeah.
They have grass there.
Yeah.
Like, same things, but everything is different. And you'll notice it. It's the feeling, the way the air feels, everything is different. And then, like, the architecture, because I know you're big on architecture and landscapes too, It's all different. Like the plant, down to the plants, everything. When you have never been to another like part of the world and you just go and experience that later in your life, I feel like you're gonna lose your mind.
I'm really excited. I'm, like I said, trying to find a job right now, but I'm going to try and muster up a little bit of money somewhere to buy a bunch of film before I go.
Yes.
Shoot a lot of film when I'm out there. Yeah, that's the goal at least. But it'll be fun. We're going to Rome and Florence and one more city. I don't know, man.
Venice. Are you guys going to Venice?
I think so. I don't know.
I hope you go to Venice. It's fucking
I'm not the one that
incredible.
plans the trips. My dad is like a travel planner extraordinaire on the side. fucking loves it, dude.
So
But
does
it's
my dad.
awesome.
What the fuck?
Dude, all our trips are so much fun though, because he just like
Your dad
plans it all
seems like
out.
the type that actually wants to
It's-
do stuff as opposed to
yeah.
like, dude, this is getting personal, but like, I cannot
It's fine.
stand
We'll talk about whatever.
people. If you were gonna take a vacation to like Italy or something,
Yeah.
and you just like sunbathe on a beach or by the pool or something for the whole time,
No,
Oh my
go
God.
out and like
Oh my God.
experience the place you're vacationing in.
yes, go to local restaurants, local
Yeah.
businesses, local grocery stores,
That's gonna be so cool.
local ice cream, baby. You're
Yeah.
gonna lose it. Gelato, ooh.
I'm so excited to get like a real limoncello and everything like that.
You guys gonna go hiking? I
Yeah.
guarantee you're probably
We're
gonna
gonna,
ride mountain bikes or something.
We're gonna be there, I think, in Rome when they drop all the rose petals through like that. I forget what building it is, but like they drop it through the sun coming through, so it's just like a bunch of rose petals coming from this super fucking high ceiling with a mural painted on it, all this stuff.
What is that?
Like ancient
the
Roman
event
architecture.
for?
I forget, honestly. Victoria knows it, but see, that's what I mean. I don't plan this stuff out. I kind of just like, I don't know. I have trouble.
Ben just shows up.
Yeah, honestly, like I have trouble kind of like when I'm thinking about something coming up, I have trouble legitimately feeling excited for it until it's
You're
like
you're
about
just
to happen.
extremely anxious.
Not even that. I'm not even extremely anxious. I'm not even going through my head of like what could go wrong, and I'm not anxious about it. I'm kind of just like, yep, it's happening. And then it happens, and I'm like, yo, this is fucking awesome. Like, I just love it. I don't have any excitement until, like, it
You're
starts
there.
happening.
Yeah.
So, like, it's tough for me to, like, I guess, find out what we're doing while we're there. I kind of like the element of surprise.
Yeah,
Like,
just
when on our trip out west last year, we flew into Seattle, rented an RV, like, me and my whole family.
wait. You know what I just thought about?
What?
I bet there's somebody in Italy that listens to this podcast.
Dude, if there's someone in Italy that listens to this podcast, let us know.
It doesn't matter what car you have. If you feel like your car is not good enough, I promise you it does not matter.
I
Just
will
shooting
probably-
a car
Yeah,
in
I
a
will-
different country where like you're in love with the scenery.
Yeah.
If you want to hit Ben up on Instagram and you live in Italy,
Or
when are
honestly,
you over there?
If you want to hit Substance up, he'll
Yeah.
relay the message to me. But I'm going from June 1st to the 14th. I mean, we have a pretty full itinerary from what I can see.
But on the off chance that something could work out, that would be a
Yeah.
really, really cool thing and would definitely show the power of this podcast and you guys as an audience.
yeah,
If someone from
would be
Italy could meet up with Ben,
I would shoot
and
a roll of film on your car.
dude, that would be incredible. Ooh, I have a good friend of mine, Paul Athena. He's from Barcelona. I think he's from Barcelona. I know he's from Spain. I've always ran into him in Barcelona, but I don't know if he lives there. Anyway, sorry. I think he might listen to this. He's a photographer. He's very, very good photographer.
That'd be cool if he has been to Italy and if he has any recommendations or anything like that.
Honestly, he
let me know.
might.
That would be cool.
He might, but he's a cool dude, and he got into shooting cars around the same time I did. So it's been nice to see that progression. I don't know. You want to end it right here?
I mean, we can talk about anything. I don't care.
You want to keep going?
Sure.
All right, fuck. You put next topic.
I actually have been brewing this one in my
Always
Brian,
brewing something.
in my little Brian up here. What is like one shoot that you had that made you feel like it made you kind of take a step back and be like, damn, like I'm doing what I love right now. Like
Yeah.
kind of like
Are you interviewing me now?
I just kind of want to know. I figured like, hey,
No,
you have people come to the podcast, you want them to have a topic.
That's fair. No, that's super fair.
Because I've had a couple of moments like that where like it's been a really, really cool shoot, just like surreal location setting, anything, and it just makes you just like kind of stand back and be like, damn, I'm really doing something cool right now. Like,
I agree.
Little moment of realization. So I was curious, what's the most like most you've ever felt that way?
Okay, I have like a solid answer for it. So I'll give some context to try and understand why this is, but a lot of my shoots that I've done like over the years have been very spur of the moment, in the sense that I'm usually booking photo shoots on a car show weekend, and on a car show weekend everybody's schedules are all over the place. And so it ends up just being like, hey, we can meet at this time. I don't know the area. I just have to find a spot. So I've gotten very good at, seeing potential in shitty spots and learning certain things about spots and colors that work well together to basically just make any location work for that like business model of like, hey, go to car show weekends, shoot with, 10, 20 people over a weekend. It's like really good, and I know the cars and colors so well that I can edit them very quickly, the workflow's down, etc. I don't get that moment that you're talking about as often as you probably would, because I don't shoot at these really crazy places. But when I took a trip out to LA 3, maybe even 4 years ago now, quite a while back now, I want to say 3 years, I was trying to get some shoots out there, and I really didn't know anybody at all. Like my audience wasn't really out in LA. I didn't know that many people. I hadn't networked that side of the country.
Dude,
really.
Actually, I got recognized at a show in 2018 because of one of your videos.
I remember
in LA.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. I was like, what the fuck?
WECFest, I think WECFest Los Angeles or something.
Yeah.
I got recognized because of the end of the like Gatlinburg
video,
2016 video. Like, can I be in your after movie?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
So you at least have one person out there.
No. Well, I have a lot of friends out in LA now, but back then I really didn't. And thankfully I had my one homie, Kevin, who actually put me up for the week that I was there, and it was a fucking blast. But one of the shoots that I managed to get together was with this IS 250. It wasn't like a crazy car, it had like a roof box on it. It was bagged. It had some kind of like full face, I think Roteforms maybe. You're good. It wasn't anything like crazy exciting, but it's a nice clean car, and the dude wanted to book a shoot. I was like, fuck, that's awesome. And I was like, I want to do the California thing because I'm in California. I want to shoot on the beach. I want a beach background with that beautiful sunset that everybody raves about with California. And we're like, where's the best place to do that? And, I just named off the beaches that I knew from pop culture and was like, is this a good spot? I'm like, no, not at all. And I was like, Venice Beach. And like, yeah, we could probably do Venice Beach. Hop on Google Maps and zoom in. And there's a parking lot like at one end of it that basically it's flat, and it doesn't have like a barrier or anything around it that would obstruct the views. And I'm like, oh, that's perfect. We could shoot literally in the parking lot with just the sand in the back and the sunset. That would be fine. It's flat. There's no obstructions. There's nothing around it. As long as the parking lot's not busy, we're good. So we're in a rush because sun is setting, LA traffic, super bad. We get there right after the sun is set. I'm like, fuck. Pull into the parking lot. It looks perfect. We go down to the end of the parking lot and realize that it just like rolls off into the sand with no curb or anything. I was like, I go and talk to the guy with the car. I was like, you want to go on the sand? He's like, oh, I don't know, man. I was like, is this thing all drive? He's like, yeah. I was like, let's go in the sand. So, yeah, sure enough, he pulled into the sand, and I was stressing because I was like, oh, the sun's gone down, and when really, it gets better as it gets darker. But yeah, I start shooting the car, shoot all the front angles, and then I turn it around so I can shoot rear angles with the tail lights, and obviously the sunset in the background. And as I'm shooting these and looking at them on my camera, I'm just like, man, I didn't realize it was going to get even better as it got darker. Like, that sunset was incredible. And I was just thinking about it in my head. I was like, Venice Beach. I'm on Venice Beach right now. And like, I turned to the person next to me. I was like, do people shoot on Venice Beach? He's like, no, not really. I was like on the sand. They're like, no, I don't think anybody shoots on the sand. It's probably like a big fine or some shit. And I was like, this is really just cool. Like, I didn't purposely do that, but I was just like, hey, I'm shooting on a spot. I just wanted that like stereotypical, just LA shot.
Yeah.
And I just so happened to get like a really fucking cool one because we drove onto the sand at that spot and it worked out. Security didn't bother us. The car drove right off and it was just surreal. I dreamed of like going out there to shoot for such a long time. And like that random trip that I took where I just really wanted to book shoots and just have like a creative week. It wasn't that good of a week because I didn't get many shoots. But that one shoot specifically made that whole trip for me. It was fucking fantastic. Just such a surreal moment to just be on Venice Beach. And like, I grew up in a small town an hour east of London. Like, I don't fucking go to Venice Beach and take pictures of cool cars.
Yeah.
Nobody from Braintree, Essex is on Venice Beach taking pictures of cars.
Yeah.
It's just fucking cool. And like, I was really proud of where I was at that point. And even though I had like no other contacts for shoots for the rest of that week, just that one shoot was enough for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Cool.
How
about you?
Cool. Like you said, I mean, I've had it happen a few times, and it's mostly been out west with certain shoots.
Yeah.
The most, I guess, notable one, the one that pops into my head. The reason I even thought of this question is because I came across this video. It was back in August of 2020. I had brought up how I went to Vegas like that right after I bought the Fit.
Yeah.
In that week there, I just bought a bunch of rolls of film and I just wanted to go out there and like shoot with some car people and just spend a week out there. And I would like basically take them to 2 locations and shoot a roll of film with every shoot. And I was trying to meet up with some old friends I had made when I lived there out in 2018. And one of those guys, Ronnie, I had shot his STI, his white STI. It was the like panning shot from way up above of his white STI going down through.
I love that
Dude,
picture. Didn't we talk about that the first time?
I think so, yeah. So I had hit him up because he had changed up his car. He'd done like molded wide body. It was on Rega Masters. Like, that thing is so fucking cool. It's only ever been cool, and it just keeps getting cooler. But he had a friend. He had a friend that has this really cool NSX. It's like an 180,000 mile NA1 NSX. Dude bought it for like $25,000 like a really long time ago. And
Matt is punching the air right now.
Oh, dude, it was awesome. It had ITBs, and like I said, 180,000 miles. He drives it all the time. It was like T37s, ITBs. Bride
it's
seats.
red, of course.
Yes, red, but it was really cool because he had replaced some of the body panels with carbon fiber panels and then painted over them. But at the end of each of the panels, like when you get up to the window, basically,
just left.
He had left like a half inch, of just like a fade into the carbon fiber, so you could still see like.
But it like blends up into the windshield a little bit.
Oh, it's so cool, awesome. Dude! It was like a very well put together car. Had a bunch of Mugen parts on it, like just, especially for a Honda guy like me, like just really really cool car.
Yeah.
And I had done a few shoots. I had done like probably 4 or 5 shoots in the week I was there, and this was the night before I flew out coming back to Chattanooga. And got together with him. I had spent like 2.5, maybe 3 hours just searching all over Google Maps for the spot that I had seen Larry Chen shoot a like yellowish 240Z at. That was like, he shot it with a really long lens, so he had a lot of really cool perspective to it, but it was basically like up on a hill which that's kind of how Vegas is. It's just like down in a valley, and you just have these like kind of gradual hills and then the mountains. So it's up on a hill looking down into the valley, down at the city. So you could see, it was just a really interesting perspective that he shot it from. All I had was just like a 35 and I think like an 100 mil 2.8. I wish I knew where that lens went. I fucking lost it, dude. Fuck. I don't know where it went. But yeah, it was really cool. I finally found that spot and I took the car there. The road was really rough getting up there, but we shot basically right at sunset and right as the sun was like peeking down back behind the mountains.
Which out there looks different from here, because like it's almost like you can look at the sun.
Yeah,
like it has like that circle, just hard outline of the sun out there.
Yeah,
I don't know.
especially on dusty days. Yes. Yeah, this one particularly was not like a dusty day, but it was still a beautiful sunset, like it always is. Like really rich pink, purple, blue, orange colors, and you can kind of like see as the shoot goes on, the lights of like the strip and the rest of downtown kind of turn on.
That 100 mil and with just like that depth, like feeling like that city is closer and just being bokeh in the background on that shot is so fucking good.
It was so cool. Like it was really, really a cool shoot. I shot a roll of, what was it? It was a roll of Ektar 100. And then I shot a bunch of photos on digital as well. But the ones on film came out awesome. Like, just so happy with them. The ones I shot on my digital camera were also awesome. But, like, there was that specific moment of, like, I had wrapped up. It was dark. I took a video on my phone, but I was still, like, sitting there in the moment. And just kind of, like, seeing and hearing the car start up. The lights kind of flicker on, like the rear taillights flickered on at first and the headlights came on.
Yeah.
And like the car, just that low rumble, beautiful sight in front of you. It's not too hot outside. Just like, damn, you're really doing something cool right now. Like you're shooting a dream car for a lot of 90s kids. You're shooting just like a perfectly modified one that someone really loves and put a lot of dedication and care into. You found this really cool spot that was like a dream spot that was like, man, you saw this picture, you want to shoot there, you found the spot. You searched, you found it, worked out really well.
Yeah.
It was just like, man, I'm really doing something I love. Like, I just really am doing something cool right now, and I love that. Like, it's just kind of one of those surreal, like, man, life sometimes has meaning.
Man. The whole time you're, like, explaining that, I'm thinking about, this is how my brain works. I'm thinking about fucking Larry Chen and how he's like made this name for himself.
Yeah.
And like the stuff that Larry's doing now is so cool. Like he gets to make the YouTube videos now.
For that dude.
Yeah, like he gets to make these cool YouTube videos now where it's his experience going out and shooting these fucking like cool ass commercials or these crazy cars or these events or whatever. And it's just really interesting and insightful and it's very inspiring.
The autofocus series is really cool. He just focuses on all these really cool cars that like fall into his taste, and he has a really good taste in cars.
As you're telling that fucking story, I'm sitting here staring at you like there is literally no fucking reason that we can't do the same thing for you. What Larry Chen has now.
I would like to. That would be cool.
Because ultimately photography, like any, like in your own head battle that you could have with yourself where you like, oh, my work's not good enough for this, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't even come into it because photography is just subjective. It's just art. You're just expressing yourself. So if you focus on only the thing that you want to do and that you love doing, you're going to get really fucking good at that and you don't need to compare. And Ben is such a fucking good photographer. The way that he composes stuff and his interest in the subject itself, I think it's special, and I know that there is some way that we can figure some shit out to where me, you, and Matt have this great thing with Substance, and it allows us to do the things that we're fucking good at and enjoy doing, and we do really fucking well, and the audience enjoys it, and we get to meet people and have cool experiences.
Yeah.
There's no reason we can't do that. And I want that so fucking bad for myself and my two best fucking friends. I swear to God. I love, like, I think for the longest time, me just being on my own and doing stuff, it's been great. I'm very, like, focused on the stuff that I want. But it, like, gives me extra motivation to have my friends with me.
Yeah.
So.
I agree. I've shot more in the last, like, couple of months than I have in a really long time. And it's partially because you're like, yo, let's
go shoot something. Yeah.
Let's go shoot something. Let's get something together.
Dude,
like,
I don't even need to shoot anymore. I get enjoyment out of, like, going to a shoot and just watching you. I enjoy myself just going to shoot and I'm watching you shoot, and then, like, if I have something to add to that to make your pictures better, that's even fucking cooler, dude.
Absolutely.
Like, I can pull up on a a location and you're shooting it a certain way and I see something different. I'm like, yo, try this angle. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Man, we can just help each other, and, like, you sit and watch me edit and help me fucking push myself. We do the same shit with Matt too. When Matt's getting down with his graphic design stuff, we just be throwing ideas around.
Yeah.
And
yeah, we
cool.
really do, like, build each other up. It's a really fucking awesome dynamic that we have.
Yeah.
It's cool.
And I'm so thankful for it because I've wanted and needed this in my life for such a long time.
Yeah,
me too. I feel like I've bounced around friend groups or,
Same.
Just friends that I've had for a certain period of time, maybe because it was convenient or it just worked. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with, people being friends for a few years or whatever. But, like, I feel like me, you, and Matt probably we're going to, like, gonna have kids and, like, have our own separate lives, and we'll still, like, hang out and, like, my kids will call you uncle and shit. Like, that's just
perfect.
I don't know. We will just get on well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you love all the things that we're talking about and saying and yelling about that we're really passionate about, and you want to support it, please go support the sponsor of this show, Wheel Price. Go join our Discord, and whenever we do actually roll out with whatever it is to monetize the crazy ideas that we have, support it, because, I don't know, you want to see us do some cool shit, and
I would like to do cool shit, so go support it.
Yeah, none of us want to be in, like, really unfulfilling 9-to-5 jobs.
I don't want to go back to car sales, but that's probably what I'm going to have to do. So if you want to see me get back out of car sales
and doing the thing that he's fucking best at.
Yeah, send your grandparents to buy a car from me, for one. Two, support Substance.
What a good line.
Send your grandparents to buy a car from me, and then go buy Substance.
Why is that so true, though?
With your grandparents' credit card, too, because they got money. So I can stop selling cars.
Love your grandparents,
yes,
please.
Love your grandparents also. Just hopefully they're rich.
All right. On that note, I think this was a good episode.
I think so.
I'd love to continue. I'm getting hot. It's getting warm in here.
If you made it this far, I guess I'll go ahead and admit it. Yeah, we did take a big old fat friggin' ripper out of the bong before we recorded this episode for, like, probably for the first 45 minutes to an hour. Just Zoot City'd. So if you made it this far and you didn't put it together by now,
we're doing okay, I guess. I don't know.
We're doing okay, but
yeah.
I
think we had a great fucking conversation.
I think so.
It was entertaining to listen to. It was fun. I also felt like when I got excited to talk about something, I just talked about it a lot for a really long time.
Hey, that's all right. That's what it's about.
I'd be doing that.
Podcasts are about conversations.
They are. And this was a blast, and we still have the rest of the chocolate chip bread to enjoy. So
I'm going to come.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back next week for another episode. I'm actually very slightly debating packing all of this stuff up and taking it to Helen, but also I kind of just want to have fun.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I probably won't.
First experience at Helen.
Maybe I should.
I haven't even had that experience yet, but I would just go and enjoy it.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that.
But anyway, on the river.
We'll be back next week for another episode. If it's with Matt, we'll obviously get to hear of his stories from his trip, and we can all congratulate him on his engagement.
Yeah.
Which I would have assumed that that's happened by the time this episode goes live.
Yeah,
really
he
awkward
said
if
Wednesday.
it hasn't.
He said Wednesday, so maybe
I don't
tomorrow.
know. We're all just nervously here waiting.
Yeah, honestly. Just
Anyways.
waiting on updates.
Love all of you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in every single week. Please go ahead and share this on your story again. Let us know anything that you want to see, any people you want to have on here, conversations to touch on. If you want to see more of Ben and hear of Ben, let us know.
Yeah, give us some topics to talk about. I like talking about shit, so
Yeah, absolutely.
if you want me back on, give us some topics to talk about. Just, yeah, let's hang out.
Fuck yeah, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.